Happy quarantine, everybody. Russell Babbitt here, and this one's going to be far quicker than me interviewing and droning on with somebody for several hours. It'll just be me unpacking what I think is some fairly important news. Now, I don't know if this is going to be used to push the Q LARP or if somebody's actually doing this and legitimately possibly could use it in order to help humanity out. But this is a big leak. It's a big hack. So Washington Post speaks about this. Nearly 25,000 email addresses and passwords allegedly from NIH, WHO, Gates Foundation, and others are dumped online. Now, I'll link this in the comments. I'm also pulling from FRN, not even sure exactly what that is, but seems to be a more independent outlet. So I'm just going to read you a bit of this and we'll talk about it. Unknown activists have posted nearly 25,000 email addresses and passwords allegedly belonging to the National Institute of Health, the World Health Organization, the Gates Foundation, and other groups working to combat the coronavirus pandemic, according to the Site Intelligence Group, which monitors online extremism and terrorist groups. Of course, they're conflating this with terrorism. Fucking terrorists are Gates and the WHO and the NIH. An Australian cybersecurity expert, Robert Potter, said he was able to verify that the WHO email addresses and passwords were real. So it's not allegedly, but that's what it says in the tagline. Neo-Nazis and white supremacists capitalized on the lists and published them aggressively across their venues, said Rita Katz, Site's executive director. Using the data, far-right extremists were calling for a harassment campaign while sharing conspiracy theories about the coronavirus pandemic. The distribution of these alleged email credentials were just another part of a months-long initiative across the far right to weaponize the COVID-19 pandemic. So the far right, which fuck the status, fuck the Republicans, fuck the Democrats, screw all of them. It's trash. It's trash. It's trying to fix something that's broken with a piece of the broken thing. But the far right is now being accused of weaponizing the COVID-19 pandemic by stealing the emails and login credentials of the biggest terrorists on the face of the earth, the people that commit war crimes against you and me and our children every single fucking day. I mean, I don't even know what to say about this. I'm not sure that mainstream media, that outlets like the Washington Post are taken very seriously. I know they aren't in our community. I don't know how many people read the newspaper even online anymore, but that's going to be the tagline is poor Bill Gates of hell and his homeboys at the WHO and the NIH. Oh, somebody went and jacked their email addresses because they're terrorists. They're terrorists pushing conspiracy theories. This whole thing is going to make us look like anything we say is total bullshit. I hope it doesn't end up like that, but especially if they start banging this drum and then fabricate some other shit, we're just going to look even crazier than people already think we are. The report by Site, based in Bethesda, Maryland, said the largest group of alleged emails and passwords was from the NIH, with 9,938 found on lists posted online. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention had the second highest number, with 6,857. The World Bank had 5,120. The list of WHO addresses and passwords totaled 2,732. Twitter spokeswoman Katie Rossborough said, We're aware of this account activity and are taking widespread enforcement action under our rules, specifically our policy on private information. We're also talking bulk removal action on the URL that links to the site in question. So basically, they're going to enact censorship for anyone who's linking to this list of that should be public information, in the sense that these people should all be on trial for war crimes. So if until they are arrested for that and tried in The Hague or wherever, we should be able to have their fucking email address. We should be able to read their damn email. We should. Just makes me sick. Now, these fools they're not even smart enough to have good passwords. Their password security is appalling, Potter said of the WHO. 48 people have password as their password. Others, he said, had used their own first names or change me, like a little reminder. Potter said the alleged email addresses and passwords may have been purchased from vendors on the dark web, a portion of the internet that is not indexed by most search engines and where hacked information often is posted for sale. He said the WHO credentials appear to have come from a hack in 2016. So they're old, supposedly. Unconfirmed reports include, and this is from the FRN site, so that's why this is taking a far more conspiratorial turn. Unconfirmed reports include that satanic witch Marina Abramovich's email was also hacked. There is history of Microsoft/Gates accounts being hacked, so this would not be unprecedented or impossible. What are the hackers looking for? Many are speculating that the Gates Foundation is linked to the research of gain of function. This describes a function where scientists add deadly features to a virus. It was outlawed in the US back in 2015 by a moratorium, and research was all migrated to Wuhan, where, as FRN reported, Dr. Fauci funneled nearly $4 million USD to complete his research. COVID-19 was ostensibly made in a lab. French Nobel Prize winning scientist Luc Montagnier are publicly alleging that this is the case. According to him, there's no possibility of this virus occurring naturally. It has the insertion points of 3 different viruses. That means it is a chimera of 3 separate diseases combined into one coronavirus. Check this out. In an interview given to French CNews channel and during a podcast by Pourquoi Docteur, Professor Montagnier, who co-discovered HIV, claimed the presence of elements of HIV in the genome of the coronavirus and even elements of the germ of malaria are highly suspect, according to a report in Asia Times. Now, I'll drop all of these links here. I hope to God this is the incredibly unlikely white hats somewhere could maybe get a hold of this and use it to wedge a door open into liberating humanity from basically a eugenic tyranny that we're in right now. But to be quite honest, I wouldn't make a dollar bet on it. I don't want to lose a dollar. It's not that I've lost all hope. I hope to be good myself, be decent towards people, and to have a good time while I'm here. And I've always thought I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And right now, when we got shit like this going on, this would be a good time. I'm enjoying the conspiracy in it, but if it's not used against us and not buried, there's a teeny chance. So if you guys want to pray for that, I don't know if you're in the business of prayer. I do sometimes, but my God is basically Like, I don't know. You guys figure that shit out. My God basically just oversees this realm for our spiritual evolution, doesn't really care if we die or get tortured or whatever. He's like, that's up to you. But maybe Q is out there. Maybe. Who knows? Because the Washington Post published this, and while they're spinning it to where it's very obvious they're taking a view of it that the people who did this are insane terrorists, when you look at the event itself, if you go and search for the headline or something similar, there's a lot of articles out there that are talking about this HIV, genome splicing, whatever it's called, function of something. That, whatever HIV may or may not be, we all know you can't catch a virus. We all know that viruses are cellular waste proteins, yada, yada, yada. If you don't know that, go check out Dr. Andrew Kaufman. But I don't doubt that there is a thing, like an HIV thing, something they can see. And if there's little bits of that thing and little bits of malaria, and it's clearly stated by somebody who's probably a lot smarter than any of us, when it not period, end of story, but when it comes to virology, I mean, if he's like the co-discoverer of HIV, which I don't know, I'm not sure, I haven't seen images of it or anything, but he knows what's up. He says it's highly suspect, and he's saying it's in there. There's presence of elements of HIV in the genome of coronavirus, and even elements of the germ of malaria. Now, this function, or whatever it's called, this thing, gain of function, that's insidiously illegal. They made it illegal for a reason. You shouldn't be adding deadly features to a virus. I mean, that's just biological warfare. That's not, whatever that is, however it happened. I think this is a distraction from what's actually going on. I think that the 60 GHz electro Maury Frank radiation, hopefully I don't get a little banner from the CDC, I think that's really to blame for most of the deaths and whatnot. The illness, it's unclear on if it's some kind of bioweapon or what it is, but I could see this being used in order to pivot the American people to have more animosity and be more willing to go to war with China, or some cultural psychology, something. I feel like this is significant. I feel like this will not, it won't just get swept under the rug. Now, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know if we should talk about it and scream it from the rooftops, or if we should try to get our hands on some of this information. But it's not like they're going to answer their emails anyways. I don't know exactly what people would gain from publishing old login credentials, but if I imagine somebody probably did get some emails or something, some data, because they're saying right here, a cybersecurity expert confirmed these are legit credentials. but then they're saying they're from 2016. And I feel like this will be used against us. If they can get the American people to hate China even more because they make them think that China and just China is engineering bioweapons, and that Fauci gave them some money to do something else, do some research, and they ended up making a weapon to kill us. Or if they can get people to think that it's Fauci and China are together, because I know that Fauci is about to have to eat his hat unless something happens. I mean, he's getting aired out like that he broke the law. So I know politicians break the law all the time, but he's already been in the hot seat. So I feel like he may be a sacrificial lamb of some sort. Um, you know, happy quarantine, everybody. I really, truly wish that we could still travel freely and go do things and hang out with people, because now is the time where in my life I'm finally doing okay for once. I totally would go on the road. And it's just like it's prohibitively hard to do anything. But I want you to know that if you can, just be nice, be kind, be decent. If somebody nods at you, nod at them, wave at them. Um, don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take me too seriously, because I take myself way too seriously sometimes. And, you know, the last thing I have to share with you is probably the most important of everything I said tonight. On my way out, I do want to say this has not been an episode of As Far as I Can Tell. This is just me fucking around. The great Baldini will join me tomorrow. It's not going to be live because I have not figured out how to do live streams yet. Soon I'll be doing them. However, Baldini is going to be here on the whole new gear, the whole new setup, and it's going to be epic. The podcast is going to be so much better now that I got a computer and a webcam that is actually like halfway decent. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. You can spend it how you want.
You may find yourself living in a shotgun shack, and you may find yourself in another part of the world, and you may find yourself behind the wheel of a large automobile. You may find yourself in a beautiful house with a beautiful wife, and you may say to yourself, well, how did I get here? You may ask yourself, what is that beautiful house? You may ask yourself, where does that highway go to? You may ask yourself, am I right? Am I wrong? And you may say to yourself, my God, why am I wrong? Silent water, under the rocks and stones, there is water underground. Sing this in every word. Same as it ever was. 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 Same as it ever was.
Oh, I wish they would bring the beat back. I mean, that beat is just so gangster. All right, guys, don't do anything I wouldn't do on a bicycle. I'm going to keep working on the cast. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and happy quarantine. I hope y'all chilling like Bob Dylan, like I am. Smoke a doobie, peel one back, drink a beer, enjoy your evening.